Going to give you my top five matches of the year so far. It's been a great year, man. It's been a great year. I think for the bigger companies, it's been kind of an underwhelming year. I think for some of the smaller companies, but yeah, let's get right down to it. Top five matches of the year. At number five, I'm going to go with Takeshita taking on Michael Oku. This was from the PWG Battle of Los Angeles. First round matchup. This was on night one. I just thought this stole the show from the first round of that tournament. Michael Oku is a hell of a talent. Takeshita had a great showing at Bola. So yeah, don't sleep on Bola. I thought it was really good. Definitely better than 2019 and 2022 as well. It was definitely a return to form for Excalibur and PWG. Number four, I'm going to go with Kenny Omega taking on Vinkingo. This is from Dynamite, right before WrestleMania weekend. I just think it had that wow factor. Like it just, I don't like, even if you didn't know who Vinkingo was, it really kind of, set the tone for just an amazing weekend for him. I think it was Don Callis that said, the greatest Dynamite match of all time. So that shows you how high up on the spectrum it was. So that's Kenny Omega and Vinkingo at number four. And number three, yeah, I'm going to go with Roman and Cody, the main event from WrestleMania. I just thought it was really unpredictable. Like it just gave me everything I wanted from a WrestleMania main event. I mean, the finish was what it was. Obviously you're going to want your guy to win if you're that invested in him. But, Cody and Roman, I thought they produced magic. And obviously there was a lot of political stuff behind the scenes going on at the time. But no matter how you slice it, that main event was really unpredictable. To me, like the predictable thing would have been to give Cody the belt. So Roman winning kind of like swerved me. So I was glad that, but I think when you look back on it, it just... Like if you're not a Vince McMahon fan and you're not a fan of, Roman and the state of the company, then obviously you hate it. So I think it's going to be a very polarizing, main event. But the bottom line is, man, you got one of the best WrestleMania main events of all time. I definitely think you could argue top five, easily a top 10 WrestleMania main event. So there you go with that. Number two, what do I have at number two? Yeah, Kenny Omega taking on Will Ospreay from Forbidden Door, man. I think the match, it just really blew me away. It really did. I think even if you're not a wrestling fan, I think this is the type of match anybody could just put on and just be wowed by. So yeah, Kenny Omega and Ospreay, they took you on an adventure at Forbidden Door. And then on number one, I got to go with Bryan Danielson, challenging MJF for the belt at Revolution. I think the match was such an adventure. I think it's such an interesting match to evaluate because it was great for both guys. It was great for MJF because he could say, I had a 1 hour Iron Man match. He could shut everybody up. But it's great for Bryan Danielson as well because it's the one match from Danielson where I say to myself, man, you could put anybody from the past in that position, whether it be Brett, Shawn, Benoit, Angle, and I just don't know if it would have been as good. So I really just think it was huge for Danielson from the standpoint of it really does prove that if he's not one of the best, he's possibly the best, of all time, because you just don't. I just can't see a lot of people just, being in that spot and just making everything work the way he did. So obviously it's great for Danielson's legacy. I think even AEW is promoting him as the greatest wrestler of all time. I wouldn't say Danielson, was the greatest, WWE wrestler of all time. I just don't think he wasn't really the perfect fit for WWE. But if you want to argue, he's the greatest overall wrestler to come from at least the United States. I think that match that he had with MJF is just proof that, he's definitely in the discussion, obviously. So those are my top five matches of the year. Let me know what you guys think is the top five of the year. I just felt like this was the perfect time to finally get in front of the camera and do it. But I might have to do this over again. I don't know. Sometimes when you're not used to being talking in front of people or being on camera, there's always like that mental block. So I don't know. Maybe I'll do this again. I'm not sure. But yeah, we're at the halfway point of an amazing year. So do it.